Good afternoon. It is June 13th, 2022, and today we had a pretty heavy sell-off. You can see prices started, I think this was like uh, 838.76 up here, and we came all the way down to, it looks like 37.30, so almost a 200-point move. And I wanted to look at the daily chart because you can see this huge gap. So I would guess that they're gonna try and fill that. And it looks pretty clear if you draw your trend channel there. It looks pretty clear that this is a trend down. So this would be heavily oversold. So we might see some buying come back. But here's what we saw for today. And in the overnight here, I'm going to go ahead and change this back to green and red. So you can see there was a lot of selling going on in the overnight. I'm not sure why that is. Whether it's like the end of the quarter or something like that. I don't know. But 5 o'clock comes in right here. And I think originally I had this as a range. But it looked like you can see prices playing off this low, and then they respected this high first, but it ends up just being a range, really. And so you do right at about 5:30, you get this second entry short, and it's better to wait on a lower high, but I like this setup. Looks like a failed break higher, plenty of room back to the EMA. There was a lot of selling in the overnight, so I like this. Come down, bounce off these lows again. First entry, second entry. So you might consider that too. I didn't see that. And another thing to note is that these signal bars were insane. I haven't seen this even 2 years ago in COVID when the volatility was crazy. I don't think I was seeing signal bars this big like this. A lot of them were like 10 points, 803. So that was 6 points. We'll see some larger ones later, but anyway, you get this. You might take that. I mean, that's a tough call because this looks like a move up, but that does look like a slight overshoot. We get this failed break lower, comes back up, and that ends up being a level of resistance, but this is all just really choppy. You can see all this congestion right here. I don't see anything you can take in there. This is technically a second entry short, just not a great setup, but we are coming off these lows, and you could look at it like a breakout pullback, but this is probably a 10-point bar. You're going into the lows as well, so it's just not great. Let's see. 89. Yeah, that's about a 9-point bar. But anyway, here we are. If you see that this is a two-tiered channel, or if you want to bet that this is a two-tiered channel, you probably like this setup. This is a second entry short. It confirms this channel, and it's off the EMA. So I think that's a good entry to take, and that ends up being a really good move. 72.25. So you could easily get like a 13-point runner there. And if you don't take that, you get another second entry off of the trend channel. So this time, this one's definitely aggressive. We didn't make it to these lows, and this signal bar, it was looking bearish, but it ended up closing pretty neutral. And if you don't take that, you might take this lower high, but that doesn't come off the EMA, and that one's going into the lows. So I like this, and in real time, I liked it enough to take it, but I think I entered on a limit order, and you would have gotten filled. So, but anyway, we come down. Turns out this is the channel. We bounce and a lot of buying comes in here. So you would have had this channel, and you do get like a hidden second entry. This doesn't break lower, but it breaks this short-term channel right here, and this looks like a leg of correction. So you get an extremely bearish signal bar right here, and it's off the trend channel. So I mean, you might consider that, and if you're just riding it back to the EMA, that's a lot of space back to the EMA, like 6 points. But that would be aggressive. And you get this correction back to the EMA, and then we form this spike in channel. So we come up to the top of this channel, correction, first entry, second entry, nothing here. I mean, I'm still looking at going short here, so that doesn't set up. Then it bounces here, and when you get this second entry long, confirming this spike in channel, I think you can take that, because it looks like prices are just trying to test the opening price, really. And if you don't take that, I would not suggest this. It's a higher low on a day like today with this strong selling. I wouldn't suggest this, but if you're patient, you get a second entry long right here, and it's clear that this is a trend. It's just a little iffy because now this looks congestive, and we haven't made it to the top of this channel. So, but anyway, here you get another second entry long, very bullish bar, and that ends up being a really good move. I marked this aggressive because this is clearly a range. So it's aggressive, but it is a second entry. So we come to the top of that channel, and then the sellers just come back. Looks like it's at the midline of this range. So get a lower high right here, but nothing to enter on. Chop around down here. First entry, second entry. You wouldn't have had, if you had a trend drawn, it would be like this. So I don't like that, just because it closed a little higher than it's open, so it's kind of a neutral doji, so I don't like that. But you might consider going short and riding it to the EMA. Here we get a first entry, second entry, and this is, I mean, just like I didn't like this one, this closes pretty neutral too, and there's overlap, but it's further confirmation of this trend channel. So that's why I like this one a little better. However, we didn't make it to the bottom of this channel, so you got to be careful. And we sell off some more. You get a first entry, second entry, very bearish bar. It's a lower high. I think you would have to look at it as a lower high, because to me this kind of looks like it might be the beginning of like a range. So I think you would have to look at it, and you can see all that overlap. So I think you would have to look at it as a lower high off of this trend channel. And yeah, that's all I saw for today. Not a lot of great trades in here, but these channels were this channel was pretty easy to find, this channel was easy to find, and this channel was easy to find. So not really the most difficult day, as long as you're patient for that first like hour after market open. So that's what I saw for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope everyone had a good day.